Last night, Joe Biden gave a speech. You probably watched it here on the Young Turks, in fact. So you know basically what it was like. It was Joe Biden being Joe Biden. But that's not gonna stop Fox News from freaking out, both about what he didn't say, what he did say. Let's start with what he didn't say, though. Sean Hannity feels like there's one area that Joe Biden could have devoted more of the speech to, as he'll describe here.
Joe Biden, he needs to pick up the phone. I suggest call Mar-a-Lago and bring unity to the country as he says he so desperately wants, and thank President Donald Trump, because a few moments ago, he tried to take credit for everything that Donald Trump did on COVID-19. 3 vaccines thanks to Donald Trump's Operation Warp Speed. According to Joe, it was the Biden administration that stepped in, heroically saved America from COVID-19. None of this is true. Where's the unity, Joe? No Trump, no vaccine, Joe. Stop taking credit for something, frankly, you had nothing to do with. Nothing.
Okay, I found every bit of that annoying. The only thing I'm gonna focus on right here, though, is Sean Hannity is making clear that the right considers all talk of unity to be a big joke. That he made multiple jokes about unity there. So could centrist journalists get wise to the idea that the right doesn't actually care about that? That's a fake concern that they're expressing?
Yeah, all right, I gotta jump in on 2 of these things. First of all, we're supposed to thank idiot Donald Trump, who said maybe we should inject bleach into ourselves to cure coronavirus, he himself got coronavirus. That's how careless he was. Held super spreader events. He's just a blithering idiot throughout, and caused the deaths of over 500,000 people, some of whom would have died anyway because of the epidemic, but a lot of them died because of his carelessness and his inaction. And we're supposed to thank him for that? We're supposed to thank him for the equivalent of what? Nearly 200 9/11s on his watch? Yeah, no, that is not what gets a thank you. Fox News perverts the truth on a regular basis, but it's disgusting every time you see it. And I'm sure that Hannity had the same advice for Trump when he got into office, saying, "Hey, Obama handed you this incredible roaring economy, and so you should thank him. You should call him and thank him." And Trump did, right? He constantly thanked Obama for the great economy that he gave him. And of course, if you remember, we've showed you all these slides in the past. Trump numbers in the stock market, unemployment, GDP, every metric was lower growth than Obama's. So he just took Obama's economy and made it a little worse, and then during coronavirus made it way worse. But I don't ever remember him thanking Obama for that giant gift that he was handed.
No, thanking Trump for COVID-19. You might as well it's like thanking the police for the Black Lives Matter movement. Without you, we wouldn't have had this incredible civil rights struggle. So thank you and all the work you've done. No, you might as well thank COVID-19. Go thank a bat in a cave who pooed on a pig or however it started. That's the level of insanity that it would take to thank Trump. Who, by the way, I know things sort of got started, but all of the reports from the first weeks of when Biden got into office was, this is way worse than we imagined. There is no rollout plan. They were stunned at how tumbleweed the entire rollout was. It's almost like they knew they were gonna lose. And we also know that Trump didn't secure extra shots well into spring. I think it's fair to say we would not be where we are today if Trump obviously were still in control of the situation.
Yeah, well, and really fast, if I could jump in, I mean, this is an example of what you're probably gonna see a lot of different bizarre, ever-changing permutations of, which is Sean Hannity now sees that people like the idea that the vaccine is coming out, so he wants Trump to get credit for that. But he spent that entire period telling people that the pandemic's not as bad as everyone's saying. Don't worry about what the scientists say. It's really not that big of a deal. And even if it is, we should reopen anyway. So they're not acting like it was some massive thing that Trump heroically overcame until now. They realize, oh, there's some credit going around. We want to get that. And as soon as they get it, let's imagine a world in which Biden does call up Trump and he films it. Oprah has a sit down with both of them and Biden gushes over him. What does Sean Hannity give him positive coverage that night? No, he's not going to. It's just another football being put out for the Democrats to land on their asses trying to kick.
I would move to the UK if that happened. I just want to say, if the hell scenario you just described of Oprah interviewing Trump and Biden, bye. Like, good, I'm leaving.
Yeah. So look, we're fair, and so there was one thing that was done right. Although John has promised not to ever be fair to Trump, but sorry, John. Operation Warp Speed seems to have been a relative success, and that's backed up by some people in the Biden administration. So that is one part of how they dealt with coronavirus, and an important part. But the rest of it was absolutely mangled. And I, we mentioned a second ago, there was no plan left for how to administer the vaccine, how to fight the rest of the epidemic, because they don't even believe in masks. They don't even believe in fighting. It wasn't just that they thought they were gonna lose, guys. No, the plans they had for executing even their own policies were just empty binders. You remember that Trump would every once in a while do a press conference and he'd hold up a book or be pretending to sign something, and somebody would catch it from a different angle and you'd see all the pages are blank. Okay, because they didn't care about governing. That was not a thing that mattered to them. They cared about making money. They cared about owning the libs. They cared about hate and fear and demagoguery. Actual competence never even occurred to them. It's never occurred to Trump in his entire life. I mean, are we having a serious conversation here? The guy said on several occasions that it would, quote, magically disappear. Yeah. And instead, it roared out of control and killed 500,000 Americans. So no, we're not having this conversation. Everything Sean Hannity says is a gigantic lie.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.